Hey guys, what's up? Shin0525 here, coming at you with another video. And today's video, I want to talk about this book. It's called Video Game Storytelling, What Every Developer Needs to Know About Narrative Techniques, written by Evan Skolnick. So, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right. Evan Skolnick there, and that's the title of the book. So, this is actually a book I had to get when I went to art school, video game school, as I like to talk about it, because I went for game art and design. And this is one of the books that they told us to get for our writing class that we had to take. And it's fairly decent. I've read this before, and I've actually been wanting to talk about this book. So, Evan here, Mr. Skolnick, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, he's actually worked on video games. It says on the back of the box that he's worked on games like Star Wars 1313, Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 2, The Godfather, Five Families, Over the Hedge, Spider-Man 3, Spy Muppets, and many others. So, he has worked in the gaming industry writing stories. So there is some credibility behind this book. And overall, I think this is a very good book, but I was a little disappointed in it. Mainly because I was hoping this was going to come from an aspect of, like, this is how you specifically write a video game story. But this book is more of generally how you write a story in general. So most of the things you can take from this book, you can use to write for a video game, but you could also use it to write a movie, a book, a play, a TV show, things like that. He basically just goes over, like, general narrative techniques, ideas, stuff you need to know like that, like characters, conflicts, character arcs, settings, plot, things like that he covers in the book, but it's not super entailed towards video games. And he does reference some video games a lot, but no video games that I think have super great stories. Like, he doesn't talk about Nier ever, which I think is one of the best written games ever, or doesn't talk about, like, Kingdom Hearts. I think that would be a wild example to study the story of Kingdom Hearts, or games like The Last Story, or I think he might mention San Andreas, but he doesn't really go over, like, story or games that, like, I would be super interested in. He does talk about a lot about Uncharted, but I think that's kind of a cop-out because Uncharted is pretty much a fucking movie. He does bring up Metal Gear Solid 2, though, and that's actually one point I want to make, is he says Metal Gear Solid 2 has a bad opening, which that is just fucking bullshit right there. That makes you lose all credibility. But, like, I get his kind of point, because Metal Gear Solid 2 opens up, and he's strictly talking about the very, very, like, start of the game, where you watch the cutscene where Snake jumps off the bridge, lands on the boat, and then it goes straight into, like, a 10-minute codec call between him and Otacon. And the writer of this book does have a point where you really shouldn't, normally, you shouldn't start a story with just straight up exposition that really doesn't mean anything. And Metal Gear Solid 2 does open up like that. The conversation between Snake and Otacon really isn't that relevant to, like, what you need to know as a player. But the thing about Metal Gear Solid 2 is, like, I never skip the fucking codec calls. I'm always drawn in and always locked in when Snake is talking to Otacon on the codec. And again, every time I play the opening to Metal Gear Solid 2, I don't skip the fucking cutscene or the codec call, because I'm just so drawn in. And it's like, I wish this book would cover why am I so drawn into that. But again, it's just like, generally speaking, if another game did that, it would probably be really bad and you'd notice it. But how come Kojima can do it and it feels right? Those are the type of questions I would hope this book answers, and it just doesn't. I was hoping this book would be like, okay, when you're writing a story, there should be, like, some areas of the story that you should give the player a break to go do side quests and stuff like that. And this is how you determine that. Like, those are the type of questions I wish this book answered, and it just doesn't. And that's unfortunate. Because, again, this is a great book on how to learn how to write a story, but like not so specifically video games. Yes, he does give video game examples, but kind of the ironic thing about this book is he constantly references Star Wars. He even notes it in the book that he talks about Star Wars way too much in the book. So a lot of examples he gives are from the movie Star Wars, but what's ironically enough is I've never fucking seen a Star Wars movie. So, like, his generalization, like, his go-to, like, okay, everybody's seen this movie. I haven't even fucking watched it, dude. And so, again, it's like, it goes completely over my head. I get the general, like, gist of what he's trying to explain, but the fact that he keeps going and using Star Wars as a reference, it's like, I was hoping he would use more video games as references, because I have played way more games than I have watched movies. So again, even if you went to fucking the most obscure fucking games you could have picked, I would have probably know what they are. So all in all, I think this is a good book if you want to learn how to write a story. It's a little disappointing if you are going in it like I was thinking, where this is going to be a video game exclusive, like this is how you write a good video game story. It is not. It's just how to write a good in general story. And again, a lot of the points that he makes in this book, you can put into your video game story, but I was hoping more for a video game specific type of thing, and this book was not it. So, a little disappointed. Overall, I think it's a good book. Definitely worth a read if you want help writing, or want a more like kind of professional look in, or professional class into like writing stories just in general. I think this is a good general book to read, but all in all, I was a little bit disappointed. And how dare you say the fucking opening to Metal Gear Solid is bad? Fuck you. Like, this book lost all credibility at that chapter when he was talking about how bad the opening Kodak call was. You have no fucking idea how good that game is. But other than that, guys, I'm Shin05D5. Just wanted to make a video on this book. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below, and I'll talk to you there. So anyway, guys, see you in the next one. Okay, thanks, bye. Later.